Hello and welcome to SaltWire today for Wednesday, February 8th. I'm your host, Kate Walker. More than 1,200 privacy breaches have been discovered in a recent investigation at Nova Scotia Health. In August 2020, NSH caught 8 employees snooping into the electronic health records of people associated with the mass casualty events of April 18th and 19th, 2020. Further investigation revealed that the workers had looked into many patients' records over many years, including friends, colleagues, and acquaintances, when they were not providing care to these people. A news release from the Nova Scotia Privacy Commissioner's Office today says the probe uncovered more than 1,200 privacy breaches in total, affecting 270 people. In a statement, NSH offers an apology to the patients whose information was compromised, saying in part this breach added further unnecessary harm to the families of those who lost loved ones in April 2020. We deeply regret that this breach took place. It is essential that Nova Scotians trust us to protect their personal health information. It is shared with us at a time when you're at your most vulnerable and should never be subject to the curiosity of others. William Sanderson was back on the stand today for continued cross-examination in his first-degree murder trial. Sanderson told the jury today he's not sure how far he was from Sampson when he shot and killed him during a drug deal at his Halifax apartment in 2015. Sanderson admitted earlier this week that he killed Sampson that night, but claimed he acted in self-defense after Sampson said, "You're done," and lunged out of his chair to try to get his handgun away from him. Crown attorney Carla Ball got Sanderson to repeat his version of the shooting today. He said the men had wrestled for control of the gun, a Smith & Wesson semi-automatic 9mm pistol, moments earlier before Sampson took a seat at the kitchen table. Sanderson said he then pointed the weapon at Sampson and told him to get out of his apartment. Earlier this week, Sanderson told the jury he drove to Lower Truro, where his family has a farm, and dumped Sampson's body in the Salmon River, one that flows into the Bay of Fundy. The judge also dismissed one of the men who was a juror today. That leaves a jury of 6 men and 6 women to decide the case. There is controversy over a proposal for a new school in Clayton Park West. Yesterday, Halifax Regional Council gave the green light for staff to negotiate the sale of a 5-acre parkland.
Disappointed because our local elected officials avoided hosting any information sessions with we, the taxpayers, on learning what was going down the pipes.
Park West School, which is next to the proposed wooded site, is far over capacity. The primary to grade 9 school was designed for around 560 students. When it opened in 2000, there are now more than 850. The province is looking to squeeze in a pre-primary to grade 8 school next door in a 3-story, 125,000 square foot building on the lot owned by HRM. But while a new school may be needed, many neighbors are saying no thanks to the idea because they don't want to lose recreational area and the trees, and they also don't welcome more traffic.
We're situated here in Clayton Park West, so one would hope that there would be adequate park within the community. I've lived here since '91, so I've seen it grow, and trees and forest have been lost.
As for a timeline, the original plan was for the school to open in 2023, so it is an urgent project for the province. A 13-year-old boy has been charged with assault after allegedly attacking a 12-year-old boy at Ski Martok late last month. The mother of the 12-year-old victim posted on social media that she took her son skiing, but he forgot his coat, so she loaned him hers. It was long and powder blue. She later saw the ski patrol bringing her son to the chalet with a bloody nose, a cut under his eye, and scratches on his chin. She said a ski patrol member told her that he saw one boy on top of her son punching him while another recorded it. The assault was allegedly because her son was being teased about wearing his mom's coat. The mother says the online media attention led the two to turn themselves in. The 13-year-old boy was arrested late January. He was released and is scheduled to appear in Windsor Youth Court next month. An art project was unveiled today to commemorate a church and its contribution to the African Nova Scotian community. The event was hosted at the Halifax North Memorial Library this morning and concluded with a walk to the artwork's installation site. The church was located at the corner of Falkland and Gottingen Streets and was deemed a source of resilience and spirituality for the African Nova Scotian community for over 100 years.
Artwork that we came up with was a stained glass window design with showcasing the different figures that were significant to the history of that church. So there's a connection to Marcus Garvey as well as Bob Marley. And, like I said, I felt that these things were pretty important to the community's heritage. And so, we wanted to do something that would stand out. So we took your typical HRM interpretive panel with the information and stuff and basically turned the panel itself into the artwork.
The unveiling of the artwork event also included a video presentation and a moderated discussion facilitated by the municipality's African Nova Scotian Affairs Integration Office about the impact of the church on the local community. It's time now for a glimpse of today's Thinking Out Loud with Sheldon McLeod. Today, Sheldon is speaking with law professor Wayne McKay about the recent appointment of 4 women to serve as provincial court judges.
One day in February, 4 women appointed to the judiciary in Nova Scotia. That, to me, would seem like a pretty big deal, a pretty big story.
I think it is a big story, and I think it's a big story in the extent to which we're making progress, significant progress now on getting gender parity in our courts. And it's not that long ago that was far from the case, but over time we've moved more and more towards that. But this is the first time in my memory that 4 women have been appointed at one time. May not be the very first time, but it's the first one I know about.
And for Sheldon's full conversation, head to the opinion section of SaltWire.com. Time now for the Atlantic Sports Wire, presented by Scott Squires.
The 2023 PEI Canada Winter Games start a week from this Saturday. Lots of preparations going on. Everything looks to be getting ready. Joining me is Dave Stewart, a multimedia journalist with SaltWire over in Prince Edward Island. Dave, what are you seeing over there in PEI in terms of preparations and what's happening?
I think, thanks for having me, Scott. I think everything is pretty much ready to go. A few things might be coming in under the wire. The Athletes Village at UPEI, sort of, I think it was a $40-50 million building that was constructed on the campus. It is ready to go. So the Athletes Village is ready to go, places for athletes to stay. I think Team PEI held its rally last night.
For someone like yourself, that's a journalist that covers events and tells stories, what are you looking forward to most?
Being on the national map and having the athletes come in, having people pumped up and happy. It's always great to be around vibes like that.
Well, I know Prince Edward Islanders to be happy as it is. Now they've got a reason to be even happier. Thanks for doing this, Dave.
Not a problem at all, Scott. Thanks for having me.
In Halifax, I'm Scott Squires for the Atlantic Sports Wire.
Thank you, Scott. On to weather now to see what's coming up in the forecast. We're going to check in now with our weather specialist, Alistair Alders.
Thanks, Kate. Well, the clouds were back in our skies today thanks to a weak trough that really wasn't impactful, just brought some patchy showers and flurries, and the sunshine will be returning to the forecast before our next system arrives on Friday. This evening, though, it will be cloudy with a chance of flurries and the temperature near the freezing mark, and a chilly start waking up on Thursday morning. We'll start the day near -7. The day, though, starts off on a sunny note and mainly sunny skies into the afternoon. Could just see a few high clouds, the temperature heading up to the freezing mark for the daytime high. Now, precipitation from our next system will develop overnight Thursday into early Friday morning, beginning as snow, then changing to rain, but there is a risk of freezing rain or ice pellets during that transition. Overall, only expecting about 1 to 5 centimeters before the transition to 5 to 15 millimeters of rain, so really not significant. Winds will be variable in direction from the southeast over to the southwest and west, gusting 40 up to 70 kilometers per hour. So really, the system not significant, shouldn't have a huge impact, but certainly if you do have any travel plans early on Friday, just keep in mind that travel could be a bit tricky for some. Kate.
Thank you, Alistair. That's all for now. For more extended video and full online articles, stay tuned to saltwire.com. And you can find us on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. I'm your host, Kate Walker. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.